There's a specific moment when most people quit. It's not when things are at their worst. It's right after the failure, in the quiet that follows, when no one is watching and they have to decide, alone, whether to try again. Most people don't quit loudly. They quit quietly. They simply stop showing up. But some people get knocked down in that exact moment and choose to get back up anyway. Not because they're more talented, not because life was kinder to them. So what's actually different? Today, we're breaking down the real psychology of people who never give up. Stick around until the third trait. It's the one almost no one talks about, and it might explain why you've quit things in the past that you genuinely cared about.
First, let's clear up a common misconception. We often picture persistence as intense grit, someone gritting their teeth, refusing to feel doubt. That's not what it actually looks like. People who persist still feel the full weight of doubt and discouragement. They feel the same urge to quit as everyone else. The real difference is how their brain interprets that discomfort. For most people, discomfort is a stop sign. This isn't working. For those who build long-term persistence, discomfort is simply expected terrain, the same way a distance runner expects their legs to burn around mile 10. So if you've ever quit something and told yourself, I guess I didn't want it enough, you might be wrong. It may not have been about desire at all. It may have been about how you interpreted the pain.
The second trait isn't about behavior. It's about identity. Psychologists often describe two kinds of self-image. Outcome identity, I am someone who succeeds. Process identity, I am someone who shows up. When your identity is tied to outcomes, every setback threatens who you are. A failure starts to feel like proof that you were wrong about yourself, so part of you would rather quit than face that fear. But when your identity is tied to process, failure barely touches your core. You showed up. That was the job. The result is just feedback. Look at the people in your life who seem almost immune to discouragement. They rarely define themselves by achievements. They say things like, I'm a writer, or I'm someone who builds things. You cannot fail at being a person who shows up. You can only stop showing up. Imagine two people who start the same business. Both hit the exact same wall in year one. Bad timing, difficult partner, money running out. The first person internalizes the failure. I'm not built for this. Within months, it becomes part of their story. I tried business once. It wasn't for me. The second person feels the same shame and sleepless nights. No one is exempt. But their internal narrative is different. That business failed. I didn't fail. I'm still someone who builds things. I just built the wrong thing, with the wrong information, at the wrong time. Same events. Two completely different outcomes. The difference wasn't raw resilience. It was the meaning they attached to the failure.
Here's the trait almost no one discusses. People who never give up aren't necessarily more emotionally resilient in the moment. They're better at emotional regulation over time. Everyone gets knocked down. The difference is in the recovery speed. Their nervous system returns to baseline faster, often within a day or two. Someone with slower recovery can stay stuck for weeks, and during that time, the low mood disguises itself as logic. This proves I should stop. It's not logic. It's a nervous system still recovering. The people who seem unstoppable usually have quiet habits that accelerate recovery. Better sleep, movement, talking it out, or simply giving themselves 48 hours before making big decisions while upset. From the outside, it looks like unbreakable discipline. It's really nervous system maintenance.
One important caveat, there's a version of never giving up that isn't strength. It's avoidance wearing a costume. Psychologists call it escalation of commitment, continuing to pour time, money, and energy into something because you've already invested so much, not because it's still working. That's the sunk cost fallacy disguised as grit. Truly persistent people excel at one crucial distinction. They know the difference between this is hard and this is wrong. They push through the first. They walk away from the second, cleanly and without drama, because their identity was never riding on a single path. The question that reveals the truth is simple. Am I continuing because the evidence still supports it, or because stopping would hurt too much to admit? So here's what actually builds the psychology of people who never give up. Reframe discomfort as expected terrain, not a stop sign. Tie your identity to showing up, not to outcomes. Give your nervous system time to recover instead of mistaking a temporary low for permanent truth. And stay honest enough to walk away from what's wrong, not just what's hard. None of this requires you to be superhuman. It only requires unusual honesty about what the setback really means and whether you're still moving forward or just protecting a sunk cost. If you made it this far, that already says something powerful about you. If this video gave you a new way to look at your setbacks, hit subscribe. This channel explores the real psychology behind the traits we admire most. No empty motivation, just honest insight. Tell me in the comments, what's one thing you gave up on that you still think about today? Was it truly the wrong path, or did you just quit too soon? Let's talk about it. I'll see you in the next one.